Yeah, my name's Max Steffes. I always like to tell people I'm a third-generation auctioneer. My official role in the company right now is Director of Real Estate. I procure and manage the real estate auctions in our northern trade area. How did I start? Man, that's a good question. So, born into it, obviously, family business, third generation, was always around it growing up. The conversations that Dad and I always had growing up were, there'd be opportunity there in terms of a job, but you got to get your education first. Typical day. So it's funny, Joel Swanson just started with us, and he's asked me that through the interview process. And a typical day is atypical. And that's one thing I like about this business. You never know what you're going to do in the auction business on a given day. You might think you're going to be somewhere today, but something else comes up and you're pulled in a totally different direction. So somebody calls us tomorrow morning and says they have 800 acres of land to sell north of Grand Forks. Guess where I'm going tomorrow? In terms of land prices, you know, one of the beauties of the auction process is we're right here, right now. So we're talking to the people that are bidding and buying. So we've got a good barometer in terms of the overall strength or health or where the market's at from that perspective. So managing sellers' expectations. Notice how I didn't hesitate there. In land in particular, it's really important to tell people what's going to happen, how it's going to happen before it happens. And particularly in markets that are doing this, because expectations can get out of whack very quickly. When the market corrects, we're the bearer of bad news. When the market does this, we're heroes. And managing those expectations from a seller's perspective is something that I spend a lot of time on. And we look at comparable sales, we look at the overall income producing ability of the farm. We're looking at a lot of different attributes to feed our sellers information on what we expect in terms of the outcome of the auction sale. I don't know, I think it's bigger than you and it's bigger than the company. I think there's been a lot of auctions that have made me realize that when you're counseling a seller through selling a farm that's been in the family for 100 years and you ask for their confirmation of the sale and they've got tears running down their face because they just can't let it go. That emotional connection really makes you realize over and over again how big of a deal it is what we do every day. Wow, that's a good one. So here in the Dakotas, back when Grandpa got his start in the 60s, there wasn't a tremendous amount of farm real estate that was sold at auction just because it wasn't valuable enough where there was a lot of auctioneers that wanted to do it up here in the Dakotas because land was ringing $100 an acre. Auctioneers were better off spending their time procuring a farm equipment auction or a cattle auction because ultimately that stuff was worth more money at the time. As values have escalated, there's been more auctioneers that have come into the fold, and I always say that auctioneers are a dime a dozen, and it's really evolved things and made everybody better from an industry standpoint. Most recently, with the online bidding, you know, it wasn't long ago, 10 years ago, down in Iowa, we would pull up right to the farm and have the topper truck and basically sell the farm right then and there. You know, it's evolved a little bit. It's much more sophisticated of a transaction. Oftentimes when we sell a piece of farmland, it's a multi-million-dollar transaction. So we're talking about internet bidding. If it's a simulcast auction, internet simulcast auction bidding. If it's a timed online only event, the bidding's done entirely online only. So that's been an evolution, and we'll see where the future takes us. Well, first and foremost, if someone comes to us and has some land to sell, we got to get familiar with what it is that we're selling. So that involves us on the front end, pulling tax statements, pulling soil maps, getting information from the Farm Service Agency, the 156 farm record, really studying the farm and becoming familiar with it. The variety. I really enjoy the lack of monotony in this business, and that's really if you're doing videos, if you're doing advertising and marketing, if you're taking payments at the front, any role in this company, there's a tremendous amount of variety. And that's a product of the people. We get to talk to a lot of different people, a lot of different walks of life. Doing what you said you were gonna do and watching how satisfied it makes your client and how it allows them to realize their goals, whatever that is. There's a lot of fulfillment that I get, like, hey, do what you say what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it. And once you accomplish that, that's a really good feeling, a fulfillment for me. If it were easy, everybody would do it. This business is challenging in ways that I never really knew, and it takes time and energy, and I think that's with any occupation, but particularly this business. whether it's learning the trade, learning the people, interacting with your team members. It's not easy, and I like it that way.